What is going on, Facebook family, Instagram family? How are you guys doing? Bear with me 1 second as I go ahead and get that Insta live going on. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know everybody's getting excited for Thanksgiving. Oh goodness, bear with me 1 second. We're about to go Insta live. Insta live. I gotta turn my phone on airplane mode so I don't get calls and texts. Hope everybody out there is doing great. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If y'all haven't watched, if this is your first time viewing the podcast, I go live. What's going on, Rich? I go live every single Monday at 12 o'clock. My name's Jay Combs. I'm based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Been very fortunate enough. Now we're every time I do this podcast air, what we've been able to do. I've been in business since March 2016, a little under 3 years, about 2.5 years, and now we just hit our $83 million mark in that time frame. And today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of starting your new year off right, being prepared. Man, Rich, thank you, buddy. Rich is my buddy based out of Florida. He is a Gators fan, and he loves to hate on my balls, and I love to hate on his Gators, and I think everyone else does too. But I appreciate you tuning in. If y'all ever need a real estate broker in Georgia or Florida, they're great. So I'm going to go live now here. Brandon, what is up? My boy Brandon's been with us full time now for about, I don't know, it's 1 day, a few weeks now, and he's already written, I don't know, 10 contracts, I feel like. I got a couple big deals under contract. But I come live every single Monday. For those that don't know, I started in 2016 in real estate. Been involved with over 300 real estate transactions here locally in East Tennessee, and I've done that by effective marketing strategies, effective lead generation strategies, and effective team building strategies. I've been involved with 2 or 3 different teams, and we've grown every single year. And I really anticipate next year being that pivotal breakout year. I'm looking to do 50 plus million. First year in the business, we did just under 20 million. Second year in the business, we did 27 million. In the first year, that being a half year because I wasn't licensed the full year. And this year we're already over. Well, we've got a bunch that are going to go close in January, but just shy of $40 million with a 4 or 5 man team. So very blessed to say the least. But the whole reason for this podcast, Real Talk Mondays, is I come live with a raw and real. I was going to have another guest speaker today who's the exact same way. We'll catch him on the next week. He had a couple other obligations he had to have. But the whole goal out of this podcast is to teach people exactly what we're doing and how we're building and growing and really how to overcome certain hurdles. What's going on, Michelle, Eric? What's going on, guys? I thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are live and you are watching this, give me a hashtag live. And if you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Share this out for anybody that's on your team that really can understand the importance of starting the year off right. For those of you guys that are in a sales business and understand that we've got a 30-day cycle, so we're about to roll into December, which is quote-unquote typically a slow month. I can remember 2 years ago writing 22 contracts in the month of December, so wasn't slow at all. Last year was a little bit slower, but right now interest rates are going up. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for tuning in, man. But interest rates are going up for our business, and so there's definitely an amount of urgency out there. So the biggest thing is understanding where we're going. Okay, those who fail to plan to fail. It's evident. If I can tell you about any bit of my wins and losses, every time that I'm laser focused and have planning and documenting and holding everyone accountable, making sure that we're tracking things daily, not weekly, not monthly, but daily tracking, that's when we're absolutely crushing it. Thank you, Jake. Guys, Jake Morris, my dude, he's 21 years old. Truly, I'm blessed to have him on the team. He's the most aggressive, best salesperson at 21 years old that I've ever met in my life, superseding where I was at 21 years old. Incredible young man. That guy's going to be going big places. Can't wait to be a part of that. But that kind of goes into it. We track our numbers every single day. But so the whole thing about today is getting ready for 2019. Okay, so we're about to go, and we're in our last 10, 11 days of 2018. And most people are like, wait a second, we've got a whole other month. In our business, everything is 1 month in the rear, so we're 1 month behind. So everything that we're doing now will be the results of December. And what we do next month is starting Q1 of 2019, and it's vital to make sure that you guys are understanding that, to not take these holidays and just take it for granted and just take it with a grain of salt. Yes, there's time to visit with your family, but really every day that you're working in the next 30 to 45 days, you should be giving 20, 30, 40% more effort, because it is going to have a direct impact. Thanksgiving week, this is going to be a slower week. Christmas, that's going to be a slower week. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, those are going to be statistically slower times. So it's really time to put the pedal to the metal. Those who put the gas on now are going to be the ones that have a extreme growth opportunity leading in 2019. And you'll see it's going to be evident on those who worked this last 45 days and those who didn't. And I'll tell you, last year, we weren't on the gas like we were this year. And January of 2018, this year, we only had 4 or 5 contracts, maybe 6 contracts for the entire month, and that was because we didn't plan for what was going on. We weren't all in. We weren't set on our goals. So for everybody watching this, give me a share on this. This is Coach Jay Combs coming live on Real Talk Mondays. Real Talk Mondays, for those of you who don't know, is I come live every single Monday, 12 o'clock, and drop real truth. Go into detail on what we've done to create success, momentum. Next year I really anticipate closing over 200 transactions. And I'm understanding now the brokerage that's doing 50 transactions a year, we used to be phenomenal. The brokers that did 100 transactions used to be killer. The one who did 150 were stellar. But now if you look at the big picture, there's teams that are doing 1,000 transactions a year, all over the place. I've met with several. In fact, I think over the last 90 days, I've probably met with 20 teams that are doing over 1,000 transactions a year. I know at least 20 that are doing over 350 transactions a year, which will put you in the top, 0.5% in the United States. But it's out there. I mean, people are doing it. You just have to plan. Okay? What is that, Perry? You've got to plan. Guys, if you guys are watching this, share. This is going to be some really good content that we're putting out today. And if you guys haven't seen, got that new fresh Our Home Real Estate gear. I'm going to be ordering a whole bunch of hats. So those who share and like this are a whole lot more likely to get one of the new hats than those who don't. So, they're just really fresh. Brian, are these hats fresh?
The freshest.
The freshest of hats. Brian got his hat, but Brian shared my stream every single week too. But so I'll kind of go into detail on what the actual planning looks like. So right now, it's the 19th. My Apple Watch is dead. It's the 19th of November. We've got Thanksgiving, which is Thursday. Everyone will be traveling on Wednesday and really getting back at it on Friday or Saturday. Some people will get back to work on Monday. So really you look at that. So Monday's the 26th, and the following Monday is the 26th. So you got 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. You've got 5 days. You have about 7 days left in this month to take action and grow. But what I want for anyone that's watching that wants to set up, hey, if anyone's watching that's in the business, if you're committed in starting Q1 2019 off right, go ahead and comment "I am" in the comments. If you're committed to starting 2019 off right, go ahead and give me a comment "I am" in the comments below, and I'm going to go into detail on what exactly you should be tracking and where to track those. So Erica's gotten really festive. She's gotten. This is what I am now, with all my clients right now. I'm the peace boss. I'm keeping the peace. That's my goal for 2019 is to keep the peace and be the peace boss. Josh is committed. My boy Josh started with 2 real estate companies and didn't get what he was looking for out of those. So, man, and listen, I'm excited for you, brother. You maximize, and you will absolutely see incredible growth. You like my little peace boss, or maybe I'm the boss of peace. So maybe I'm the boss of peace. That's what it is. Erica put this on my table, guys, just so you know, so that whenever I got really frustrated if something was going on in work, that I'd have that looking back at me every single day, so that like, okay, breathe, peace of mind. But anyway, so the first thing that we're going to dive into is accountability. Accountability. If you're not holding yourself accountable, you're going to fail first. The biggest thing is what I've learned about, look at that fresh hair. What I've learned in working with people is you can't motivate people, right? You can't go out and do anything. You can inspire people to want to be better, but one of my agents, Chevy, he said, if you have to motivate your salespeople, those are probably not the right salespeople. And that really hit me, and I was like, man, like, dang, like that's some real, talk about Real Talk Mondays. If I've got to go out and or if you have to go out and lead your team and tell them to be accountable, and you've got to go out and get them motivated, they're probably not the right people. If you're watching this and you have no motivation every single day, you're probably not the right fit for that organization. And that's the truth. You're not setting it up. So whatever business that you're in, if you've got to first off, you've got to go out and have that commitment to yourself and not anyone else. You've got to be committed to making sure this is happening. But you've got to set up a game plan. Whatever the goal for 2019 may be, there has to be a plan of action. So when you're going out and you're setting these goals, you got to identify the first thing first. What is the goal? What is the end goal, right? Begin with the end in mind. There's a book called something just happened on the live stream. There's a book called it's the 7 principles of leadership, or something like that, man. But rule number 1 is talking about beginning with the end in mind. So starting off your day, starting off your 2019, starting off right now. You want to switch cameras? There's a lot of reflection in the. But starting, what's up, Hunter Goodell? What is going on, my man? But starting off today, you need to know where you're going, right? I think that's where a lot of people fail, is they just do. There's not a game plan. So you have to identify, where do you want to be. If you were to look back at yourself and if you can be in this spot right now, a year from now. So you're about to start December of 2019. If you could sit there and know what you know, and you could say, hey, I want to hit this place. If you could know where you're going to be then, That's where you'd really see massive growth. So knowing where you want to be in December of 2019 is where you need to be right now. So whatever that goal may be, whether it's 5 million, 10 million, whether it's to be at X amount in commission, or if you have a personal goal, like, hey, I want to, I remember going through and setting, reading goals. Like I wanted to read 30 books in a year. Where would I have to start with that? So identifying what that end goal is, but then planning to execute on it, right? So you say to yourself, okay, I know what my goal is. That's the first thing, is identifying the goal. But also at that point in time, you have to start asking second, third, fourth level questions like, what does it mean to hit that goal? What does it really mean? What's the significance? When I hit that goal, I'll do X, Y, Z. Who will it impact? Who will it affect whenever you hit that goal? How is it going to feel whenever you achieve that goal? Say you want to be #1 salesperson of the year. How is it going to feel whenever you're sitting at the award ceremony for the end of next year and you're holding up a trophy for being top sales or top producer? How is that moment going to feel? You have to internalize that. And once you can do that, then you can go out and identify what the action plan is. So first off, what is it? You got to set the goal. You got to identify that goal for yourself, and then you have to have a meaning behind it. There's got to be a purpose behind that goal, so that whenever times are tough, whenever deals fall through, or a sale falls through, or someone returns a product, you're okay. You've got a bigger picture. And speaking of that, like whenever you go and you are going through those goals, you always have to think you're going to have some of those deals fall through. So identifying, okay, you're going to have a setback, right? If your goal is to, like I've got a lot of fitness guys on my thing. If your goal is to be, top-notch shape by the end of next year, well, you're going to have a setback. Let's just say that you have Thanksgiving, right? Everybody's going to enjoy a lot of good food for Thanksgiving. Well, you gotta account for that. So always know there's always going to be some type of setback. So plan to have that in your business. If you plan, then you will. So who's committed to quarter 1 of 2019? Once again, give me an I am. Comment below saying I am if you are committed to first quarter of 2019. So I'm going to wait and see who is committed. What's up, Josh? My dude. See what my commitment level's like. Y'all like my Christmas tree? My fiance got me a Christmas tree. She said, one of my guys, my boy Hunter, said, what was the biggest goal for you that you were able to finally achieve and made you realize, hey, this works and is doable? So one of my guys, Hunter, he's in Arkansas, grew up with him, so he's like, what's the biggest goal that you were able to finally achieve and made you realize, hey, this works and I'm able to do that? That's a great question, Hunter. So I remember when I first got into real estate, I set a financial goal. My goal was to achieve a certain amount because I had never done it before, and 2, I thought it was a really big goal. And so I set that goal down, and I can remember it. And this is why I tell people it's very impactful to write down your goals because that way it's tangible and you can actually see it. Like I've got journals that I have from years ago. 2 or 3 years ago from where I wrote down goals, and I'll reflect back and I'm like, man, like I remember when that was my goal, and now it's like, hey, how can I hit that goal in a single quarter or in 6 months? Like the goal then is like I set an annual goal. How can I hit that goal in 6 months? So my goal was to hit X amount of dollars in real estate, and man, I can, to answer your question, Hunter, I remember when I was brand new in this business and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know where I was going to get business. I didn't know the structure of it. Like that was my problem. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was looking back like, how am I gonna be able to do that? Am I even gonna survive in this business? And I was just laser focused on it. And to tell you the truth, I crushed through that goal within the first 8 months. And that was my first year annual goal. So I had a goal in mind. Sorry, I timed out. I had a goal in mind, and I wrote it down. It was crystal clear. I wrote it down, every single day for that entire year, and I crushed through it. And then I didn't realize that I crushed through it until I looked back at it a year later, and I looked at it. I was like, man, dude, like that was so achievable. But I remember I was working at Verizon, and then someone told me like what the best person did in that year, and I said, well, I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I was like, well, I want to do, hey, Erica. So listen, give me a I am if you're committed to starting Q1 of 2019 off right. Told everybody in the comments to write I am. But I realized like that was so achievable, and I crushed through it. But I don't think that I ever would have done it had I not been laser focused every single day working on hitting those goals. So that's just the power of it. So I don't know where the books are or what books it is, but there's statistics on what you can achieve through different things. Like, hey, first off, where you can what you can achieve if you just verbally go over a goal, right? Then it was like the percentage of you hitting that goal if you wrote down the goal, and that was a lot higher than that. And then they were talking about like, hey, how much higher you'd be likely to hit that goal if you not only wrote it down every single day, but you also made it public. So then you went out and publicly announced your goal. It's my goal to, like next year, I want to hit $60 million in real estate. That's a huge, huge goal. I'm publicly announcing my goal, and having that basis point, having that starting point is vital. And I know I've hit on it now for the last 10 minutes, but not setting it, not being crystal clear with your vision. Like I was sitting down with my team the other day, and I sat everybody down and got them there at 8 o'clock in the morning at Starbucks. I said, guys, we've got to identify what's our mission statement. What is it about us? Like, how are we going to set the standard for future people that come into this organization? Like, hey, what are our core values? What makes us different? What makes us a team versus, just another brokerage? And we're sitting down and they're talking about, you got to show up, you got to be there, you got to be present, you've got to be engaged, you've got to do the right thing, you've got to put people before commission, you've got to go out and take care of your people. Communication's got to be, has got to be vital for the business. And just the creative juices were flowing. So I'm going to reel it back in before I lose track of everything. But set that goal and make it public. Let everybody know that's in your organization that goal, and then find out where everybody fits in that goal, right? So find out what, if let's say that it's $20 million, you identify where everyone fits into the puzzle. And the next thing is putting together your game plan. So I tell everybody, like, if someone gives me a goal, I can teach them how to get it. And I reverse engineer all the goals. So whatever that is, I identify how to break it down to the smallest increments, right? So $60 million, you look at $60 million, that's a big goal. Well, then I take into like, okay, what does $60 million look like every single month, right? What does that look like every single month? What is it going to take to hit that goal? So then I'll break it down, and then I'll make it a monthly goal, right? 60 million doesn't look as big if it's broken down 12 times, right? That makes it under $5 million a month. So I'm like, okay, well, that's still a big goal, $5 million a month. Has it ever been done before? Yes, it has. So that's what we got to go. Like, what actions do we take? Then you can even break it down into weekly goals. Okay, so I've got 4 weeks into 4 weeks in a month. So you take, let's just say 5, because it's simple math. 5, and then you've got to do a little over a million and a quarter, $1,250,000 every single week. So how many contracts do you have to write a week to get that? Well, we're talking about that. if it's a $250,000 price point, you guys sell how many homes? 5. So 5 homes a week, that's 20 a month. That'll get you to $60 million. And then we were talking about deals falling through, so you want to, every now and again have another. You want to do 10% for rescission, fall through, everything like that. So now it goes to 20 a month, and now you need to write 22 a month because 2 of those are going to fall through every single month. Just know that. So now I know what I've got to do. Well, then I break it down even more in depth. So now I know I've got to write 5 deals a week. So if I've got 5 agents, everyone's got to do a deal a week, every single week, right? Or if you've got one producer that's going to produce more, they're going to produce 2 a week, where the other one may do only 1 every 2 weeks, and that's okay. Everyone's going to be completely different. You're going to have people with different goals, and then once you've done that, then you identify, okay, what's the action plan to get you to a contract? How many people do you have to contact to set an appointment to get a buyer under contract or a seller listed, and then what percentage of those actually go and close, right? So the number is bigger every single time. So 5 deals under contract every single week. That means a good rule of thumb, you've got to contact 40 people with real estate conversations to get 1 deal closed. So you do every 1 deal is 40. You got 5. You got 200 real estate conversations a week in order to get 5. So if you have 200 a week, you're looking at 800 a month. 800 real estate conversations a month. And guys, I'm talking about real estate. That's my industry. You can put this into any industry, cars, sales, insurance, automotive. In every industry, you can still apply these and make it yourself. But once again, what is everything leading to? It's planning to execute. And once you've got this killer plan, then you've got to execute. You've got to make sure that you're staying accountable and hitting those. And what I do, I stole it from a group out of Michigan, is I've got greatness coaching. We go over on a weekly basis, and we'll scale ourselves. 1 out of 10, how do we rate ourselves every single week? And if somebody's doing a 10, they probably hit their goals. And then they'll rate themselves how many calls they made, how many contacts they made, what was their action plan, what could they have done differently in order to get them to the end goal in mind. But let's wrap this up. I've got 2 more minutes. Any other questions, Hunter? That was a great question. It was that goal, Hunter, changed my life. I can honestly say, setting that goal, looking back at it's completely changed my life and how I run the business and start adding technology. I could go on and on and on about ways to implement and strategies and technologies. I'll give you guys a pro tip. I use CTE. It's called Commitment to Excellence. That's how I track our business. It can tell me, what the splits are on conversions, what the conversions are, what we have to sell each month based on market trends, the whole 9 yards. That's a tool that we use to track those. And the biggest thing that you're going to find out that's going to be the challenge is getting people's buy-in. And that's something that you as a leader have to go and dive down to. And if you don't have other people in your business that are a part of it, that's fine. You just have to go out and make sure that you're highly committed and that you're going to hold yourself accountable for everything that you've done. So guys, we hit on, execution starting quarter Q1 2019. Game plan on what to do it. You've got to make sure that you set a goal, right? Set that goal, and you've got to go in depth with finding out what that goal actually means to you and what you'll do. Vest yourself in it. See yourself being there. Embody what that means, right? And once you do that, then the likelihood of it's going to happen is going to be a lot more. And then you've got to go out and reverse engineer those goals. Simplify it down to the smallest degree, the smallest macro that it is to, I've got to talk to X amount of people. What is, Brian, what is 800 times 12? Do that for me real quick.
9,600.
9,600 real estate conversations, and we've got to have a 10% that fall through. So add another 960. So do 960 plus 9. 1,100 real estate conversations that we have to have every single year to hit $60 million. So if I were just to dumb it down and simplify it, like, people can't follow really complex, they can't identify, how to hit 60 million. You can't fathom that, right? But if you can tell them, hey, every single week we need to have X amount of real estate conversations per person, whether that's 20, 30, 40, 250 real estate conversations every single week. To do that, identify that and then track that number, and then everything else will fall in place. Simplify your process and then hold it accountable on the smallest degree that has the biggest impact. That's how you actually grow. I can't wait to watch those who have watched this podcast. If you haven't watched this, go back, watch it from the beginning. It's going to be vital to your success. I have went through so many trials and tribulations to get to the point where I'm at right now. I've failed so many times getting to this point. I've added systems, but if I can go out and break it down and get it to its simplest forms, identify the smallest thing, spend the most amount of time and energy on that small, tangible factor that's going to lead you with the most success, hone in on that, and then just dive. Go all in on that. Go all in the conversations, and the rest will follow. Guys, this is Coach Jay Combs coming from Knoxville, Tennessee, owner of Our Home Real Estate. I have recently started a mastermind program for all agents that are interested. I'm doing it on a subscription base. Just wrote my first ebook, and you can find that on Amazon. Whenever I get out of this, I will put the link below so you guys can get that. It's for real estate agents on how to be day one in the business and how to have maximum growth. For those that don't know, crushed my first year in real estate and have made well over $1 million in real estate in the last 2.5 years. My team has made just under $3 million. My teams per se have made just under $3 million worth of real estate, and we've done that the right way, reinvesting those profits back into the company, reinvesting that money back into our local economy, reinvesting that, supporting other businesses. But it's been able to give us huge amount of growth, and we've been doing that by setting goals and tracking those and staying accountable, but making it as simple as possible. I'm a dude raised in Southeast Arkansas. I'm not the smartest one in the book of everybody, but I can tell you I'm laser focused every single day. I go into work every single day focused on what we have to do to go out and make our business better, make our agents better. And now I'm going to go and teach people how in 2.5 years we've generated almost $3 million worth of business, $80+ million worth of real estate sales, 300+ families helped. And that's on one side. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's anything that I can do to be of assistance, please let me know. Once again, I will post where to get the ebook online, and I'll also post if you want to have some mentorship. If you want me to come speak to your team, your group, let me know. You can comment in the links below. And guys, make it great. Have an absolutely blessed Thanksgiving. I hope it's wonderful. I hope you guys make a lot of memorable moments, and be blessed. Thank you guys for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you guys next week. # Real Talk Mondays. Stay tuned every single Monday, 12 o'clock. Dropping bombs on you every single Monday, guys. Appreciate you tuning in.